Bro, full disclosure, we're a bit like
There might be
West-
some alcohol in our system from last night.
No stress.
So,
if
we'll have fun.
If we
Yeah.
just start sounding retarded a bit, just like
Yeah.
Have you slept? Have you slept last night?
I slept.
That makes one of us.
you're like more professional than us.
You guys were partying the whole night?
I was in Bangalore partying over there. I'm a DJ, so I played my set over there and then ended up sleeping at 7.
Oh, fuck.
I had to wake up at 8.
Oh, your flight was...
Yeah, my flight was there.
Yeah.
And these two, I got a voice note from them at 4 in the morning. So I realized what was going down. Tell us
Okay,
what
let's
went
go.
down.
We'll get to this later.
Yeah.
Adarsh Gourav, let's go, bro. We just very recently watched Superboys, and like I think after that only I hit you up and I was like, we need to do this, and I made sure these guys also watched it.
I cried, dude.
Yeah.
Even I cried in the theater.
It was beautiful.
Like, it was.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching it in the theaters, man. That means a lot. Yeah.
He watched it on Prime. I watched it in the theater because I'd heard so much about it. Like even the original documentary,
Yeah.
like I'd heard about that also, and then I never got to see, like I never got around to seeing that. But then this came out, and I was like, okay, let's go and watch it. And just everything else also that you've done, like we've liked, like whatever we've seen of you. So I really wanted to sit down with you and like have a conversation because
Yeah.
like if you can text someone and say I like your work and you get to sit down with them, I think that's a cool thing to do. So
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree, man. I'm excited to speak to you guys about everything.
So it's insane. Day before yesterday, I watched White Tiger. Fucking.
now you're pushing it.
Now you're
I'm
doing
not
too
even
much,
kidding.
bro.
I'm not even kidding. I watched it. I was like, man, shod kya dekh liya, bhai? What a fucking movie that was.
Yeah, that was mad.
I don't think we should start podcasts with compliments. I feel
Okay,
like
it makes
the
you uncomfortable.
person
Of course,
a bit-
bro. He doesn't know what to say right now. He's like he's so awkward about the whole thing.
No,
But we're drunk, so it's like.
Yeah, we might still be. What are you up to? What do you have going on? Like what did you do today?
What did I do today? I woke up and I watered a lot of plants.
Nice.
We have lots of plants in our house. And watered the plants, had some hot water, read a script, preparing for an audition.
Okay.
So yeah, just learning my lines, reading the script for the last few hours. Is that?
You don't have this thing where if you know you have something to do today, for example, this podcast, like the time before that fully goes into not doing anything because you have this task coming up. There is a word for it.
Really?
It's called something paralysis or something.
I don't know, but it happens with.
I know I have something at 4, so 4 baje tak.
You can't do anything else?
Yeah, you're just like, or
You're
you're
just
just
hijacked
lazy, you're
for the rest of the
complacent.
day.
Yeah.
Because you know that something is going to happen, so you're like, okay,
Yeah.
fine, I'm going to look forward to that.
Yeah.
Or you're stressed out about that thing happening, either or.
Oh, I knew this was not going to be stressfable. Maybe if it was something that would be stressful, then I'd be like,
Let's
thinking
change
about
that.
it a lot.
What are your, would you rather?
Hey, bhai.
No, but honestly, I also have a problem of like I find it very difficult to just sit and not do anything. I'm learning how to do that. My girlfriend's great at doing that, where she can just appreciate the passage of time and just.
You're a Bombay boy, no?
No, I'm not a Bombay boy. I'm actually a Jamshedpur boy.
But when did you?
I moved here like 18 years ago, so
Okay.
might as well call me a Bombay boy. But originally, I'm a Jamshedpur boy. But I'm a South Indian. I speak Telugu.
Okay.
First 12 years were in Jamshedpur, then came here in 2007. Been here since.
Okay. Yeah, but that's a very Bombay thing, like people being restless and not being able to.
I guess so. It is.
Like it takes some while to get in that zone, but once you're there, you're just like constantly working. Because you see people around who've been here, like yourself, for 18 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
They're always running around, bro. Like they're just always doing something.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm very... It's easy for me to not engage and disconnect when I'm not in Bombay. So as you're saying, it is true for when I'm in Bombay.
Yeah.
When I'm outside the city, I'm not like this. I'm very chill.
Yeah, you feel that when you travel also. When you go somewhere and
Yeah.
you come back, as soon as you land in the airport, you're like, okay, what's next? What do I have
Time
to
also
do?
goes by very quickly over here, bro.
100%.
Like you feel the change. You go to another city, it takes so long for like a minute to pass. And here it's like 5 minutes done.
No, you go to like any kirana dukan or grocery shop only. The guy will be chatting with 3 other people and he'll be like, "अरे भैया दो ना." Like
वो 3 जन को एक साथ कुछ तो दे रहा होता है भाई.
पर बॉम्बे में वो कर रहा होता है. मैं बोल रहा हूँ
over
कि
there,
if
bro,
you go to
anywhere
Goa,
else.
if you go to say like a Calcutta,
हाँ.
like those guys are like just so
Yeah.
laid back and shit that they're like, हाँ ठीक है दे देंगे, मतलब 5 मिनट रुक जाओ, आप भी हमारी
Yeah.
बातों को सुन लो.
Yeah.
They're like, let us do our thing.
Bhai,
We'll
I
get to
was
you
just
later.
in Bhopal.
Yeah.
I'd gone to Bhopal for something, and I went to the store to buy a shirt. And bro, this guy is just like chatting with me at the counter. Like, it took me by like surprise. He wanted to talk for like 5 minutes properly.
Was it
And
like a showroom or was it like a...
like a West Side?
Acha.
And there were like people waiting behind me, and they were all okay with this. Like they were
Yeah, they
all
don't
okay
care, I
with me standing there and having this conversation while they're waiting in
But
line.
what are they going to do at 8 p.m. in Bhopal anyway, no? So like... I mean, I'm saying
Yeah, I've
it's not
heard
like...
there's a very good nightlife in Bhopal.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure every town and every city, but that'll also be like once or twice a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
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 Like I guess in Bombay or like another international city outside India, then you also have so many options that you're like, fuck, need to get out of here to do something else.
Yeah.
When you're in a tier 2 town, you're also taking it easy because you're like, हाँ ठीक है.
How's Jamshedpur? Like,
Dude, very laid back and very cosmopolitan. There were all kinds of languages being spoken around me. Bengali, Bihari, Punjabi, Telugu, Tamil, you know. It was a lot of fun, man. And I feel like it was what anybody's childhood should be like in terms of like just a lot of space to play.
yeah.
Lot of friends, lot of sports, lot of just being in your body and like, you know, also computer games hadn't become
They
big
weren't a
back
thing,
then. They weren't
yeah.
such a thing back then. Although I did have a computer and I was playing some games, but it wasn't like, you know, I was 6 hours for 6 hours in front of the computer. Very chill, easy.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like how we grew up in Pune.
You guys grew up in Pune.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same. Like I remember we always lived in like this big society where you would go down to play in the evening. Like that was just the thing to do.
Yeah. 5 o'clock.
Yeah, someone will call you.
बुलाएगा.
Bro, that shit is like doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I see it and I get so happy. Like if I'm crossing somewhere and I see kids playing, I'm like, okay, they are like holding the culture down. But
Also, everybody in the colony knew that now is playtime. Like even the adults, because there'd be 2 kids who'd be screaming.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. They're just yelling out everyone's name.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that this is for the next 4 hours is going to be hell.
Imagine you don't get called, bro.
Yeah, shit.
That would have been so traumatizing as a kid.
Yeah.
But so the kids now, they don't have that incentive to go, and because there's so many other fun things that they can do indoors. Like if they're getting on Fortnite, I used to game a lot back in the day, and I downloaded Fortnite again 2 days ago, and I was just going through the game. The game is like, have you watched Ready Player One? It's like this game it's this film about how you enter this game and you live your life within the game. And
Like
that's
a Black
what
Mirror episode.
kind
Basically,
of, yeah,
yeah.
but more like child friendly.
Okay.
That's what the game is now. Like you can get in and you can create your own world, and you have so much more, like you get so much more dopamine from doing that than like going out and playing.
But we had shit like that, no? We had like Sims, and you've played Sims? I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys. Age of Empires, Age of Mythology.
I played a lot of Age of
Take
Empires.
the mic
Yeah.
a bit closer.
Just take it behind with you if you're going behind. No? The arm
Oh, yeah.
moves.
Yeah.
We did, but it's just better now. It's-
Yeah, of course. I mean, the
like,
graphics and
everything is better. So like for them, it's just like, I'll get on this and my friends will also be on. So we'll be talking anyway. Why would I go out in the heat? Especially if you live in a city like Bombay, where there's no place to go run around. So
Yeah.
they just look forward to different things.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
what I've seen.
That's true, though. I feel really sad. Like, most times I go to a building or a society and there's not even a park to play, and I'm just like, fuck, man, this is tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no parking, bro.
Forget your park to play in.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to just like, I remember growing up, there were these, we used to live right next to this hill range called Dalma Hills, you know, in Jamshedpur, very famous hill range. We used to just like go out of the colony and venture into the hills, man. Like
Yeah.
into the fields, and you know, like, and there were all kinds of animals and snakes and shit living there. But like, also, there was no, I feel like now there's also like this thing of overprotectiveness maybe towards children, because when
Yeah.
growing up, like my parents didn't know half the time what I was doing,
Yeah.
where I was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the overprotective nature of parents now. So there's too much to be scared of. But for me, like we just be in the street. Like that's how we learned how to socialize. Just like talking to random people on the street.
Yeah.
Going to the store, buying something. Like I used to have udari at this like store, which I don't think I've still paid till now. But it was like an understanding between maybe my parents would go and pay later
Yeah.
behind my back.
It's covering up now.
Yeah.
Maybe they paid him.
Actually,
All my dues are clear.
the guy like who ran that store passed away. That's
So
what
your-
happened.
So your
Yeah, so
my
your dues
debts
are cleared.
Cleared. Rest in peace. Like he would give us fruity like every day.
Yeah.
But like that's how we learn to like interact with people and interact with the world. Now it's just like
This reminds me of a place called Swagatam, which was like a store in our colony. Grew up in a colony called Ashiana Enclave in Jamshedpur. And this Swagatam store had a guy called Gupta ji. And Gupta ji also passed away sadly 10 years ago. But every person in the colony had a khata at Gupta ji's shop. And kids. And kids who were evil, like me, would really, very evil, would exploit the shit out of the system, right? So one fine day, my dad checks the bill and he's like, 3,000 rupees, out of which 2,000 rupees is just chips. He's like, how much fucking chips are you having? And then he realized that it's not the chips that I'm having, it's for the Tazos. So I used to keep buying chips, not just for myself, but for other people also to impress them. That look, I can get you a packet of chips.
But you would take the
And
Tazo.
take the Tazo. Take the Tazo. It was nuts, dude. This whole udhari system when you were younger.
Yeah. There were kids in my school who would come with aisa pura mala of Cheetos ka
Yeah,
around their
Tazos,
neck.
na?
And they would like have their like employees who would open them, give them the Tazo and like
Who are these kids, man?
This guy's school was really on crack, bro. 100%. There is no doubting that.
hey bhai, aisa, like, so in your class you usually have one guy who's like well to do,
Yeah.
who's better off. And when you're kids, everyone's wearing the same uniform, so you can't tell. but
There's
it's
nothing.
things
Were you
like-
that guy?
No. No. There was this other guy who would show up with the Cheetos and so then that is like the status symbol in school. Who can buy the most Cheetos?
The biggest one, like the imported Cheetos. Like if someone
ये
got
सब
that.
इतना
This
तो
is
नहीं
too
था भाई.
fancy,
ये तो
bro.
बहुत
ये-
Those, the red Cheetos and all. Back in the day, bhai. ये सब
This
ला
guy's
रहे हैं
school
school
is
में.
fancy.
Bro, there was this, I remember this one
Mic
time, there was this one time when Pokemon was, it was the rage, and Pokemon cards, people were losing
Yeah.
their shit for that, huh? So I had gone to Chennai to meet my family, and we were staying at a cousin's house, my mom's cousin's house, and their son was obviously also my cousin, he was my second cousin. So he showed me that he had like this stack of cards, okay, like some 150, 200 cards. And I had like some 10, 15 cards back then. So I saw it and I just felt like a pang of jealousy. I was just like, this has to be mine. So the next morning at 4:30 a.m., our train was supposed to be there. So, we all said our goodbyes after
This is
dinner
going
and
where I
shit.
think it's going.
Bro, I have snuck into this guy's room,
Oh, damn.
picked out his cards from the cupboard while he's sleeping and bounced. His entire stack. Can you imagine a trauma that kid must have gone
He's
through?
woken up, there are no
He's
cards.
woken up, 150 cards that he's collected over the last 4 years have gone missing. And I haven't told my parents. I think when they watch this is when they'll find.
So what have you done with the cards? Where are they?
Must have gotten lost, bro. Like the fact for
Bechara,
2 years,
brothers.
3 years.
Should call him and tell him, man, now, at this point.
Dude, so funny thing is that we actually met like some 6-7 years ago at another family function. Neither of us brought this up, but both of us had this sense of acknowledgement. Obviously, मेरे dad तो नहीं जाएंगे अब चोरी करने में.
Yeah. Should have stolen something else from him. Man.
To make it seem
No,
less.
you should have stolen something else now also.
Oh, to keep it going.
keep him on his toes.
Never know what's coming
That
next.
kid had to grow up, bro, overnight. Like,
You made him a man, bro, that day.
Bro, he must have grown up with some real trust issues.
Bechara.
what else have you stolen? Anything else?
Bro, tons.
Yeah.
Your-
but I'm sure even you guys have. Like, don't make me
Like
fucking
stealing from shops and shit. na,
Yeah,
matlab chips.
yeah. Don't make me.
What the fuck?
What is
Bro,
wrong?
you guys haven't. Come on, guys.
Bro,
Everyone has.
I swear I have.
I've had a failed
I really
robbery
haven't.
once.
Really?
Yeah.
चाटा खाया मैंने भाई.
पकड़ा तेरे को.
Tactic क्या था?
पकड़ा,
Like
हाँ.
you'd go in with one thing,
Yeah.
दूसरा जेब में.
Distract. Acha.
दूसरा जेब में, and you walked in, and the other guy will probably pick up a packet
Yeah,
of chips or
yeah. It used to be a group operation.
Yeah, it's a covert operation.
What is wrong with these two?
There used to be a store near Parla Bridge, and we used to go back. And by the way, I went to a school where everybody was very well off. You know, I had a lot of insecurities about the kind of family that I came from, so I wouldn't invite people to my house and stuff because I was like, "अरे देख लेंगे कि मैं middle class हूँ तो दोस्ती तोड़ देंगे मेरे से." You know? You're in that mind space when you're 13. Also, like cultural shift. I came from Bombay, Jamshedpur to Bombay. I was kind of figuring things out. Used to go back home with these bunch of boys in their car, and they would drop me off at Andheri station, and then I would get on the train and go to Dahisar because I was living in Dahisar for a year and a half in the middle. So there used to be a store next to Parla Bridge. These guys used to stop their car, and and I feel so bad about it right now. But like, we used to 6-7 of us used to get off the car, and it used to be like a whole operation where like 2 guys are distracting the owner, 2 guys are distracting the helper, 2 guys are outside near the ice cream fridge, opening and putting ice cream in the pocket. So the first time I saw this, I didn't get out of the car. Because I was like, bro, I was a fattu, bro, when it came to all this. So then I got like the worst ice cream. You know, I got the orange dolly. सस्ता बोला तू नहीं किया ना तेरे को orange dolly. बाकी सब corner.
That mango dolly used to be the worst.
Yeah, mango dolly, orange dolly. Mango dolly used to taste like mango bite only.
Yeah, it was so bad. Ew. Continue, sorry.
Then you realized you gotta I've gotta
No,
get in
and
there.
then I realized I gotta get out of this whole operation. I gotta change friends.
मेरे को यहाँ से निकलना पड़ेगा.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
Yeah.
whole thing.
And how many times did this happen?
At least 4-5 times though.
So it took you 5 times of eating orange dolly to realize that my friends are bad.
This is too much, bro. I was a sweet kid. Like if there are 2 shops next to each other and I bought from one, I would hide.
You were
and
a
go-
loyalist.
I would
Yeah,
hide
yeah.
and go so that he doesn't feel bad that I bought from the other
तू
shop.
उधार ही नहीं देता भाई. तू you loyalty.
हाँ तो वही ना.
Seriously.
Yeah, I would feel bad.
That is, that very sensitive when you were really.
Bro, my parents, they really, like, one thing that they've done right is they gave me this very strong sense of what's right and what's wrong. Like, I don't know how they did it. I don't think even they know how they did it. But, like, they would tell me things like, if you ever find yourself doing something that you don't want to tell us about, just know that you're doing the wrong thing. Like, if you feel like,
Smart thing,
if you're
yeah.
doing something that you're hiding from us, you're doing the wrong thing. Which was a bit like, but it would always like slay.
You've
my-
never hidden anything from your parents when you were younger?
No, of course I have.
Test marks
I-
and...
वो सब तो किया है. Then I grew up and then I realized you should lie something. But this is when I was way younger. I would like, I remember like my dad found out that me and my brother were watching porn on the computer. And
You'd watch it
And we
together?
didn't deny it. No, like separately.
Ah, okay.
Like we both came clean.
How was the difference between you and your brother?
2 years.
Huh. Then you all can actually watch it together.
Yeah.
Hey,
but
come on.
जब भाईचारा बढ़ाते हैं.
Yeah, but like I think in that situation, you usually like deny and you're like, no, I don't know. But then we were just like, yeah, I mean, you caught us.
You got me.
Yeah.
Were you ever caught?
Watching porn?
Yeah?
Worse.
This guy.
Oh, you were.
I was caught. I was caught in a very embarrassing situation. I don't even know if I should talk about this because my grandfather who caught me is still alive and he's 87, 88. But he basically just walked into the room.
Oh, shit.
Ah, yeah.
That's when he learned how to knock. He was like,
दादाजी.
That's when he was like, Bombay के बारे में जो कहते थे सच कहते थे. Mumbai. But yeah. Porn, I don't think I've been caught. No. But I've just been caught too many times doing too many silly things, you know. gotten caught a bunch of times stealing from home. I used to steal not big currency, like 5 rupiah, 10 rupiah. You know, your obsessions also as a kid are at that level only, ना micro level only. 5 रुपए का पॉपिन्स है, अब हर दिन मैं नहीं मांग सकता हूँ मम्मी से. तो एक दिन के दी, 2 दिन दी, उसके बाद तीसरे दिन she's like fuck off, you know, you're not eating poppins every day. So I'm like ठीक है, I know where the coins are kept. And then slowly and steadily after 20-25 days when my parents had to, because also that time there were only 1 rupee and 5 rupee was a bigger denominator.
It was a nice coin.
It was a fat chunky coin. Suddenly my dad is going to the coin stack and he's like, where's all the 5 rupee coins gone? And then they're like, oh.
Such rookie mistakes, bro, you made.
Itna to, but maybe, yeah. But like this is, but I just thought this was taking. I didn't think of it as stealing. I thought it's our money. Like,
who are you earning money for?
Yeah, like I thought it's like our.
ऐसे भी मेरे मुझे ही आना है सब. Fair enough.
वो तो, but I think everyone's done that. Like taken some money from like the back pocket. जाके थोड़ा सा.
Yeah, for sure. Once in a
Another
while.
thing that I used to do where I used to, I didn't like eating food. Specifically food that was cooked at home by my mom.
Okay.
So I would keep throwing food away everywhere. I'd flush food, I'd throw chapatis on the fan during winter, throw chapatis in the cupboard behind the warm clothes, which I knew would, you know, be taken out only once a year. Just to do whatever I could to like avoid food.
You could just
Flushing
not eat
gravies.
it.
Huh? No,
could-
that wasn't an option.
Oh, so this extra
I
step
would
was
get
necessary.
whacked if my mom would come back
And food is still there. You
and see the food is in the casserole.
Khatam.
Khatam, bro.
But why didn't you like go and give it to someone?
इसको
It's
देगा.
not कौन करेगा भाई? When you can just
Watchman
throw it
को-
behind the cupboard.
बास आएगा bro behind the cupboard.
You putting it on the fan.
But रोटी से बास नहीं आता है.
Oh, it doesn't?
सब्जी से बास आता है. उसको मालूम है. बहुत गलत है, किसी को नहीं करना चाहिए सब.
No,
बस
ये
बोल
तो
रहा हूँ.
स्कूल में बच्चे भी करते हैं ना. They throw away their डब्बा.
हाँ.
This one kid, bro, he used to open his dabba in front of us, and if he didn't like it, he'd just go like, oops. Literally, he'd turn it in front of us, he'd be like, oops. Then he'd close the dabba and walk away.
Damn, bro. Parents watching this are going to be so
Heartbreaking. But you know what's weird is that then I would go to like other people's house and eat the same thing in their house. So my mom would be like, "What am I doing wrong?" You know, like because she was also a working woman.
Are you
wake up
the only
at-
child?
No, I have an elder brother, 7 years older. But she'd be like, इतना प्यार से मैं उठ के 4-4:30 बजे अपने बच्चों के लिए खाना बना रही हूँ और ये खाना फेंक रहा है ऐसे.
Yeah.
और कभी कभी फेंक भी नहीं रहा है, नहीं खा रहा है और जाके दूसरों के घर में पूरी सब्जी खा रहा है और वो मेरे को बता रहे अरे हमारे घर पे तो बड़े चाव से खाया. It's like what am I doing wrong? I just feel so bad, but like thankfully later on I came on the right track and
The grass is always greener
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the other side. I feel like.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're. Never mind.
What are we talking about?
Yeah,
Are we
like-
still talking about?
Is it just food?
हाँ बट वो घर का खाना कुछ लोग को टाइम लगता है to get used to eating home
Yeah.
food. Now I love it. Like
Same.
now it's all I want to eat.
Same.
Sometimes I feel spoiled and I want to order, but
Yeah.
usually it's just like how do I make sure I'm eating at home most of the time?
Yeah, I also prefer eating at home.
Do you have like a rigid diet? Or
I don't have a rigid diet. I mean, unless I'm working for a character on a character that requires me to be in a certain shape, then I do. Like for Gaye, I had
Yeah,
to.
you
Oh,
got
dude,
it.
you were jacked
Yeah.
in that. You were working out with Kirsten, right? Calisthenics?
No, I was working out with Robin and
Okay.
Kahan.
Yeah,
Like,
but solid calisthenics.
solid.
Yeah.
So 1.5 years of solid calisthenics. So during that time, it was hell.
chicken breast every day?
Yeah, and I'm a vegetarian.
Oh.
So I had to switch to being a meat eater and start eating chicken breast.
Did you like it?
Not at all.
So
I mean, I had eaten a little bit in college, just tried and stuff, but I was never really like, like once or twice here. and there. But to eat it like every single day, आधा kg chicken तेरे सामने, chicken breast.
man.
It's just, and also I didn't have like a fancy cook, you know. So my didi used to just cut the chicken and throw it in the cooker and give it to me. And I was like, ये खाना है मेरे को.
Just like white boiled chicken.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's
I didn't have the patience to show her. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I would have shown her a YouTube recipe, she would have learnt and done it.
marination here and there.
But I was also like, नहीं मैं तो ऐसे ही अपने आप को torture artist कैसे बनूंगा? How will I tell a good story if I don't talk?
But how is that like if you get in shape for a film, like you've gotten in shape and I'm assuming you feel good after you've done it.
Feel great.
And then you have to do this other film where you have to be like obese or just not in shape. How do you let that go? Like don't you feel bad Ki,
You do, bro. You do. Also, because I had never done that before Kho Gaye Hum Kahan. So for the first time in Kho Gaye, when I did it, I was like looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, wow, bro, I should get used to this. So it is. You get a bit dysmorphic about your, your physicality and stuff.
yeah.
But you just adapt. I mean, eventually you're just like, the character can't have a great body, if he's, say for example, Superboys or Malegaon. If I'm playing a director in a small town where, the focus is not on the diet and the focus is not where there's no scene where I'm like hectically working out. Why would I have a great body?
Yeah.
So you just like apply logic and then...
No, I get
Ultimately
that,
that
but
wins.
then you as a person, you would be like, fuck, I still want that body. Because you experienced it now.
Yeah, but then I also treat that as a transition, like as
treat it as
something
a
that
phase.
yeah, you treat it as a phase. You're playing another person, and for that person you got to look a certain way, and then you detach, you disconnect, and you play another person. So
Is it difficult for you to like detach from character?
I don't know if it's difficult. You just get used to it. More than it being difficult or easy. It's just if you're truly committed to playing the character, because you start picking up certain habits and like certain ways of talking, or maybe you walk a certain way, and then your body and your mind starts getting used to it. Even if you're not doing it 24/7.
Correct.
Even if it's on camera and off camera, you're still kind of being neutral. But even for those number of hours, because you're constantly doing it over 2 months, it just feels weird when you stop doing it. Difficult, I wouldn't say.
This Heath Ledger has made it like...
Yeah, bro.
There was, when the Joker came out, there was a story going around that he couldn't detach like from the character, and he was going crazy. So now after that, like I think everyone asks actors, "Oh, do you have a tough time letting it go?"
I mean, it depends at what level you're also committing, right?
Yeah.
Have you read his diary?
No.
That was published by his father.
The one which he was writing in
His
while
notes.
he was doing
Yeah.
Joker.
Yeah. I mean, that in itself tells you how deep he was in. Like, he was somewhere else, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're committed at that level to playing a character, and I don't know, it could happen. It could potentially happen where you lose your mind.
Right.
Also, the character in itself is so like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unhinged.
He's completely unhinged. There's no morals. There's no कोई boundaries नहीं है जिसके अंदर वो operate कर रहा है. He's a nihilist, so like he can get away with doing anything he wants. So like you have to have like you have to channelize a certain element of craziness in you, and that can make you lose your mind, I guess. I don't know. I've not done that.
But then the same way, what about an actor who's doing a lot of roles in which he's like super macho and he's like the guy? Will that, like, do you think that'll
Seep into
reality where they think they're the shit all the time?
Yeah, I think so, dude.
होता है ना शायद?
होता होगा.
Start leaving hate comments. People post after.
पता नहीं यार, होता कहीं ना कहीं तो subconsciously affect होता ही होगा ना.
Yeah, I mean, but even outside of films, like people who become like celebrities and people who become famous, and there are people who have just a bunch of people around them who are constantly giving them, like validating everything.
Yes men.
Yes
around
men.
them.
Yeah.
So that we've seen. Now, if there's one more step where even on screen you're always that guy, then I think it's just like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you like?
Have you guys experienced that since you guys have hit it big in the last couple of years?
Hit it big though, I won't say.
Like you guys are famous now. Everybody knows who you guys are. Do you guys feel like it's taken away something from y'all in terms of like, do you all find it harder to be more authentic?
We were in a place like in the middle where we were finding it hard to be authentic. We were scared of saying things. We were scared of saying what we actually feel because we were like, bhai ye bhi dekh raha hai. Like, let's say if I'm talking about someone specific, I know they're watching it.
Or it will get to them. Like it's not that they're watching it, will get to them.
Yeah. So then it would make us conscious. But at the same time, we had to like step back and realize that the thing that made us big was us saying what we actually felt.
Yeah.
So if we go against that, then we don't have a product.
Yeah.
So now we've kind of gotten back, and we have made more efforts to just like stay the way we were.
Yeah.
Plus, it's good that we have each other. In this.
Yeah, dude.
So you can always tell the other person that
Chill out, bro.
are.
Like,
And all you guys know each other since y'all were like much younger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're like 12 years, 13 years old.
Crazy. Yeah. No, that's a big one.
what about you? Because the past couple of years also have been kind of big for you.
In terms of like what? But as in, what about me in terms of?
Like you've become more popular, you've become
Yeah.
more famous. So how's that transition been?
Okay, only. I guess I don't like to think about these things too much. You know, and I'm lucky that I'm with somebody who's not an actor, who's not interested in being around actors, who's not interested in like coming to Bolly parties and oh, make me meet this person. So
Yeah, that's
you know how it is, right?
Yeah,
Like, a lot
yeah.
of people are so like taken in by this world. My girlfriend is in, so like I feel, and because I end up spending most amount of my free time with her, I feel like, I don't know, it just instills a sense of normalcy in you.
It keeps you grounded.
Yeah, I mean,
In a good way.
Grounded, yeah, grounded in terms of just we're just existing as regular people.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
And like, so acting for you, do you treat it like a job? That this is my job. I get up, I do my thing, and the rest is like, how much of acting or you being an actor seeps into your life outside of being an actor? Like, it's your whole identity, right?
it's funny because every time I put on a film, Radhika's like, is this homework for something? Because she's always suspicious of.
Yeah.
Because I'll always be like, hey, let's watch this film. And she'll be like, why? Are you preparing for something? Is that why you're showing me this film? I was like, no. Sometimes it's a yes. Sometimes I'm like, yeah. And sometimes I'm like, no, let's just watch this film because I've heard this is a good film.
Yeah.
So I feel like it does have an effect on our life at large in that sense. Also, like schedule wise, it's so like if somebody invites me for a wedding in September or October, most people are like, bro, I'll be there. But
You don't know.
I can never give that answer to
Yeah.
anybody. So that is a bit hard always. I feel like in that sense, it does kind of overrule your life to some extent. But I feel like eventually as an actor, I hope to be in a place where I'm financially secure enough where I'm like, you know what, if I have to go for a wedding in September, October, it's fine. I'll tell I don't think I'm there yet. Yeah. But eventually that's the goal where.
Yeah, that's the thing with just any kind of career in entertainment, it's 24/7. Like there is, unless you're super disciplined and you take a stand and you say from this time to this time, no work, I'm going to live like a normal person. But you have ambition also, na?
Yeah.
So like if you have the time to read a script or if you have for us, it's different. For us is to like, if I'm sitting with him on an edit,
Yeah.
if I have the time to do it, then
Also, you guys do a bunch of things. Yeah, you're a DJ. You also
I do content, and these guys are DJs. Yeah,
you also do.
yeah.
yeah.
So it's just a lot of different things, and there is no point at which I can say, okay, there is nothing to do right now.
Yeah.
There is always something to do.
There is always that choice. I feel I also feel it's a personality type. It depends, right? Like on who you are. I feel like at the end of the day, you need to stay true to who you are.
Yeah.
Not to say that you can't evolve,
No, for sure.
but if that is where if your heart lies in the fact that you want to be working and you want to be doing those things, I think by all means you should.
Yeah.
I don't think that we should carry a sense of guilt in, because for me, for example, since I was 23 to 29 almost, I feel like I just worked non-stop. Like the only thing in my head was just make it and just constantly be focused on my craft. But in the last 1.5 years, I've suddenly found myself that, I actually want to spend more time with my family and my girlfriend and to be doing these things that might seem, I don't know, insignificant to most people. But I actually also enjoy doing those things now. So I'm treating this as a phase, and who knows, maybe in 1 year again, I'll be like, you know what, I don't want any distractions or whatever. I don't want to think about anything else in just my craft.
Yeah.
But right now I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the feeling of being able to also take pleasure in other things.
But that
Yeah.
is the purpose, right? Because if you're doing all of that, you do all of that so that you can do this as well.
Yeah,
So
what
that
is
you
all
can-
out for?
There is
Yeah.
this Seedhe Maut song in which
Gyarahazar.
there's this one line in it which you can think of like throughout your life and it makes sense. And he says, पैसे बनाओ, पैसों से वक्त बनाओ और वो वक्त अपने चाहने वालों के साथ बिताओ. Like that's the purpose of life. So
Yep.
if you're doing the grind, you did the 6 years, it got you to a place where you have this luxury of spending time with your family and your,
Yeah.
like, that's the purpose.
Yeah. Also, when you don't have work, you don't have a choice.
No, but it's only fun when you have work and you
And-
still fuck around. Like, you know, for us also, like, sometimes we sit and we're like, bhai, ye bhi kar sakte hai, wo bhi kar sakte hai. Like, we could be working so much harder, but we're living also, na?
Yeah.
Like, masti bhi kar rahe. Like, in 3 years, 4 years, we're not going to be living together and doing this thing in Bombay. So, like, we're trying to enjoy it also as much as we can.
Yeah.
Because
Where do you all see yourself in 3 or 4 years? Not in Bombay.
maybe not living together, even if you're in Bombay.
Yeah, 'cause
I don't
we'll
think
be
Bombay
a lot
lets you go,
older.
bro. I feel like once you come here,
It will keep you for a while
yeah.
because you need to get the hours in. You feel
Yeah.
that, like we discussed earlier.
Yeah, the 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours. Yeah. Yeah.
You just want to do work, bro.
In the last year, I've been really flirting with the idea of eventually making the move to Goa.
Same.
Like last year, I went like 4 times, I think.
Do you go to North Goa or South Goa?
I both.
Okay.
Depends on the vibe.
Okay.
Your
Depends
movie was
on-
shot there, na?
Which one? Kho gaye?
Yeah.
No, no.
They
Or
did like a
something you
montage.
all did
One
in-
song
yeah.
at the start.
We actually, there was a lot of fun because Arjun, the director, so Sid and Ananya had done a film together, right? They had done Gaye Raina together, and I was the new friend. So Arjun was like, dude, why don't we just go to Goa and you guys just hang out for 3 or 4 days, just vibe, and shoot each other on your iPhones. And that's what we did.
That's the whole song, right?
No, that's the entry. The introduction credits of the film is basically us shooting each other on our phones, and then they put that in the introduction credits and made that.
So this was y'all getting to know each other.
Yeah, there's actually us getting to know each other.
That's so cool.
That's actually such a cool idea, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Go to
It's
Goa
like an
and party.
experiment.
Literally, dude. I mean,
Break
except
the
for the
ice.
fact that because I was on such strict diet, no alcohol, nothing. So like, sitting on your partying, I was like a monk. Yeah.
Yeah, so that idea is always there. Like, and now the past couple of times I've gone, there's like a community of people who have moved from Bombay, Delhi.
So many, dude. Yeah.
Like during the pandemic, I think they moved.
Yeah, yeah.
And after that,
Yeah.
and they all would tell me that, bro, like we did what you did, and you're going to be here in 2 years.
They already see it.
Yeah, they're just like, it just makes sense.
No, we've also been thinking. But why Goa and what makes you? Also, do you guys?
Goa seems like the place to be. It's like a-
I want nature. I
Same.
want nature around. I like the beach.
You
I
like trekking and hiking and stuff?
Sometimes. But like primarily like I want if bro अगर मैं मुंबई में रह रहा हूँ तो कहाँ पे करूँ भाई
Yeah,
चाहिए तो भी
but
कहाँ पे जाऊँ
ये तुम लोग मैं थोड़ा प्रमोट कर रहा हूँ ऐसे मेरे को पैसे नहीं दिए गए फिर भी मैं कर रहा हूँ ब्रेक फ्री क्लब का नाम तुमने सुना है क्या
No, what is that?
You guys should join this thing called Break Free Club, which a friend of ours runs, and they basically just take you out for like adventures and stuff, and like they also meet in the city during the weekdays. So they have like these whatever, like a boxing session one day they'll
damn.
be climbing trees somewhere, and on the weekends they'll take you to these like spots around 2 to 3 hours away from Bombay, and you just like jump into a waterfall, go for a swim.
God, this actually sounds.
Yeah, it's sick. So we were doing that a lot in the beginning of this year. Radhika and me, yeah.
Sounds really cool, dude.
It was a lot of fun.
yeah I'm assuming you meet cool people also while doing this
I do when I'm doing things like this, definitely. Also like meeting people who are not from,
Yeah.
have nothing to do with the films.
that's another thing that I like about Goa. You meet so many different kinds of people,
Yeah.
like
A lot of musicians.
musicians and just people who are doing their thing. Like they just want to live somewhere where there's nature, air is clean,
Yeah.
there's good food,
Food is
cool
too good. man.
people are nice. It's a little inconvenient. Like I can see why it would be difficult to live there, but it's like a trade-off. Things are just slow over there.
Yeah.
Like if you go somewhere in the afternoon, you want to get your car fixed, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Not,
Remember?
yeah, they
I was
just didn't want to
driving.
do it.
So I was driving the car when we were in Goa last time, and someone told me that there's no air in one tire. He's like, it's punctured. So we went to one guy. He's like, it's fine, go. I was like, bro, I can see there's no air. He's like, no, go. We went to the next guy. He's also like, go, it's fine.
If they're chilling, they're chilling.
They are
don't
like,
want
bro,
to,
it's our
like,
free time. We don't want to earn money.
We will just negate the fact that you're
Like, hey,
tire
bhai,
is punctured.
जाएगा तेरा गाड़ी आगे.
तेरे 100 रुपए से अभी नहीं, like this chill moment that I'm having
Yeah,
right now.
it should not be disturbed by your 100 rupees that are going to pay me.
And they sit also, bro.
I
with
love
their
that.
pegs like in the
Yeah, yeah.
evening. Like,
Penny when he
yeah.
I remember how annoyed we were. Like, bro, why are they not filling air?
Yeah, so that's what the people would tell me. Like, you will have an issue in your house, like an electrical issue, and you call the electrician. He'll be like, "Agle hafte shayad main
Bro,
aunga."
you learn to fix it yourself.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
That's what most of my friends in Goa have done, where their dependency on urban company and these things have just completely, they have become mechanics, they have become electricians, plumbers, everything themselves, which I actually think is really cool. And I feel like it's a pity that we don't know how to, like if my car were to break down today, I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
In the sense that if there's some shit happening with my engine, I don't even know how to change my stepney.
Same.
Yeah.
But like 30 years ago, our parents' generations,
Everything
they knew how to do everything, bro.
Bro, I remember I asked my dad, "How did you learn how to drive?" He's like, "We just knew." He's like, "In our time, we just knew." I was like, "What does
That's a
that
hard
mean?"
answer,
He's
bro.
like, "No, we just got in the car and drove."
Start driving.
He's like, "I stole my dad's car. We were like 16 or something."
Yeah.
But your brother did the same thing.
Yeah, he did the same
I
thing.
also learned how to ride my mom's scooty like that when I was in the 4th grade. I would just steal her.
Fourth?
Yeah.
So how fucking tall were you in the boat that you were
As tall as I'm right now. I never grew up.
You see those little kids ऐसा वो बच्चे
हाँ कुरला उरला में भी दिखा वैसे ही था मैं मेरे पैर पहुंचते नहीं थे my toes used to just touch the ground like that but just this thrill of like stealing my mom's spare keys and riding it in the colony and did it for a few months till my mom found out and I got whacked and then I was like okay that's that.
Yeah, you've done a lot of
This guy has childhood.
Masti.
Has been-
Yeah, the thing is that you get innovative
Right.
when you don't have fixed means of entertainment or like when you're living in Mumbai, there's so many different places from where you can derive stimulation.
Right.
Is that I feel like it kills the need to be innovative. But when you're living in a town where there is not much to do, everything is just imagination and innovation and like you coming out with I don't know different ways to entertain yourself and the people around you.
Yeah.
That happens.
What do you do for fun now? Like, what do you
Now, sometimes we have games nights. We host karaoke nights at our house. Yeah, we take trips. We go to Goa. We go for this break-free thing that I was telling you about. We also started doing this thing beach mein jahan pe, and we'll do it again now once the monsoon comes in, where we get cycles on rent outside Sanjay Gandhi and then cycle inside the park.
Okay.
You guys have been to the Sanjay Gandhi National Park? Fuck off.
Where is it?
Borivali.
No, we've never been.
I never
Oh,
knew
shit.
There's a national park inside.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah.
I've been
Like-
to RA Colony, but that's about it.
Close.
Yeah.
आरे का जंगल और शायद नेशनल पार्क का जंगल मिलता है
हाँ.
at some place, but no, national park, check it out. It's actually pretty cool. There's also these really ancient caves, 2,000-year-old caves that are inside the national park. I don't know if you guys are into like archaeology and stuff like that, but like you can check out the Buddhist caves there also.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out to see because I don't think I've ever experienced.
Caves are kind of scary, bro. If you think about it.
I mean,
They're not the kind of मैं मंजूमल boys वाला बोला नहीं है कि हो जाएगा.
I fucking hated that movie.
Why?
What?
I don't know. I just hated it. He made me watch it.
You actually hate.
I really hated it.
hated it. Hate
Like,
is
how
a-
can you
a
hate
strong-
Manjumal?
I don't know. I know hate is a strong word, but probably because he had hyped it up too much for me.
I तो
It's like,
fucking
bro,
loved
Manjumal
it,
boys,
bro.
Manjumal boys, and I was like, bro, what is this story?
I तो loved it.
You loved it.
I loved it, dude.
There's so many people who loved it.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. So
Oh.
maybe we
You guys have.
watch it and
See, there's
have a
one
decide.
lover, there's one hater.
So we'll.
But what did you hate about? We won't
Yeah,
spoil
we'll,
it for you.
yeah.
But Sanjay Gandhi National Park, check it out. So we rent cycles and then just cycle inside the national park. It's just air is nicer, cleaner, less traffic and yeah,
You don't party much?
not much, man.
Did you ever have a phase?
Yeah, of course. Of course I did. In college, right after college and stuff.
You were acting through college, right?
I was acting
So you had like some level of fame at that point? Money had maybe started coming.
Money
in.
has started coming in. I don't know if I had that awareness to realize. I definitely wasn't very famous. But yeah, maybe some people knew me because I was acting and stuff. I wasn't very aware in college. Also, I was very distracted with so many other things happening around.
The Maya.
Shit that you do in shit that you do in college, and never attended college, never interested in academics.
What were you studying?
I studied finance.
Okay.
Studied financial management at Narsimon. I was in Mithibai before that for my JC. But barely attended classes. We were always like outside a dosa guy, or there's a vada pav guy, Dheeraj vada pav and dosa. And have you guys had the dosa and vada pav outside Mithibai?
No, man.
We've had the vada pav.
We've had the vada pav.
What do you think?
It's pretty.
Okay.
It's okay.
It was okay.
You guys also come from Pune, na? So
Pune
Like
is
we've
tough
had vada
competition.
pav.
Yeah, tough competition.
No, Bombay has good vada pav. I've been ordering from a couple of places.
Where?
There's this place.
Ordering?
Yeah.
Vada pav?
On Swiggy abhi.
There's something fundamentally wrong about.
But अच्छा.
Those two words
Ordering
don't go
a vada
together,
pav.
bro.
अब क्या करूँ bro मैं? Like.
जाके खाने का नहीं चाहिए.
Fresh.
But you want it to be a bit clean also ना थोड़ा. Like.
तुझे क्या पता तू जहाँ से ऑर्डर कर रहा है वो क्लीन है.
I mean it's a bit expensive.
Well packed.
Then it's not
100
vada
रुपए का
pav.
vada pav है भाई. It better
How
be
much,
clean.
fully
how
wrapped
much
and
must vada
stuff,
pav
like.
cost now? Because it used to be like
15
10, 12 rupees.
अभी भी
15
रुपए.
10, 12, 15 depending on where you're.
Where you are.
5 was when we were kids, yeah.
5.
Yeah. When we were in school,
I
it started at 5.
Yeah, I
Same.
started at 4.5, 5.
Damn, this is like that cigarette conversation. मैं छोटा था तब 5 रुपए का था.
But also, it's crazy what you said. It depends on where you are, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm a big Pani Puri freak. Like Golgappa, we used to call it Golgappa in Jamshedpur. तो मैं तो ढूंढते रहता हूँ बॉम्बे में कि मेरे को अच्छा गोलगप्पा.
You found out any
I
place?
found 2 places.
Hell nah, even I
banging.
found
One is called Awesome Pani Puri.
This guy is capping. You're definitely lying.
Was
Awesome
it
Pani Puri.
spelled OSSM? Then I'll believe
I
it.
never paid attention to the spelling, but it's called Awesome Chaat and Pani Puri.
Huh.
Funny thing is that there's a shop that's actually there's a shop that's called Awesome General Stores. And because this Pani Puri stall is
Outside.
outside of the store, they called it Awesome Pani Puri. Now nobody goes to that shop.
They go to Awesome
Everybody just goes to Awesome Pani
Where
Puri,
is
bro.
Awesome Pani Puri?
This is Lokhandwala Back Road.
Okay.
I'll send you the coordinates.
Done.
And
Coordinates.
the
Lokhandwala.
Well, that's like you have to be awesome if you're calling yourself awesome Pani Puri.
yeah.
Because
it's too
you're
good.
overselling. Like,
But it's genuinely good, you know, like, because I hate it when they make it meetha. I like mine to be very spicy. झाल बोलते हैं हम लोग वहाँ पे.
थोड़ा मीठा उसमें. It's a nice balance.
तो गुजराती है?
नहीं man, I hate that shit where they put sugar and all that stuff in everything, man. पोहे में भी they put sugar.
हाँ.
It's weird, I think.
yeah. What's the other place?
The other place, so Awesome, you get 50 rupees, which is
Good. If it's
Decent,
good, it's
okay.
good,
It's good, yeah.
it's okay, not bad. This other place, I think it's called Calcutta Chaat or something. It's on Carter Road. You know that lane, the up lane that goes to
yeah,
park where
yeah.
all the
Yeah.
food things are.
Yeah.
That's where it is. That guy sells it for 130 rupees, bro.
Damn, it's
One plate of
Worth
pani
it.
puri,
I've
but it's
eaten.
worth
But
it.
Big ones, na?
Big ones.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's really good. Really good.
I don't think I've had Pani Puri in Bombay.
In the city?
Yeah.
हाँ, मुश्किल है यहाँ पे.
एक बार खाया था वो
But we ordered.
near Veronica's, that place.
Opposite Veronica.
It was okay, you know.
Veronica's Bandra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else what's your go-to? Like, if you could pick any meal?
If I could pick any meal, I would. It's kind of sad, but chili paneer.
Chili paneer.
Oh,
Yeah.
surprise. That's crazy.
You're
Yeah.
vegetarian.
Oh, he's a vegetarian. Finally, I'd get no respect out here.
मैं तो भी vegetarian.
Love, if there's paneer cooked, they're like, कुछ बनाया है क्या खाने के लिए?
Swear to God, bro.
That's
नहीं मेरे को पनीर पसंद है bro. I don't have an issue with paneer. Sometimes I will eat it also.
हाँ, like, maybe not you, but like I get looks around the house when I'm having paneer.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But do you eat chili paneer with like regular Chinese like noodles or fried rice or with?
No, I just have like grilled paneer. Like abhi if I'm eating घर पे properly,
Yeah.
it's just grilled
Grilled
paneer.
paneer.
Yeah.
I have a very specific thing of eating chili paneer with roti. Gravy chili paneer with roti.
I can fusion food. I can
Yeah, it's like Indo. Yeah.
Bro,
There is
all the
there's something
rotis
there.
from behind the cupboard. Coming to haunt him now with that.
I also think that I have a thing for weird food combinations.
Bro, when I was a kid, I would have spaghetti with roti.
It's wrong.
I can see
But
that.
for you, anything with roti.
but now I think of it as just so much carbs, just like carbs on carbs.
What is the
Bro,
weirdest?
fundamentally,
thing
it's stupid. It's so bad.
Bro, I used to eat Bonvita ka powder
Huh.
with chini.
Oh,
Which is Bonvita's already like
Double
all the
whammy.
ads that they show where kids are like they have so
Bouncing
much
off the
energy.
walls, yeah.
It's because of the sugar. Obviously. They're getting high on that sugar and bouncing off walls and running faster than Usain Bolt and shit.
Yeah.
But imagine eating that much sugar, which is Bonvita, with more sugar, processed sugar. And I used to literally fill a plate with that shit. And I wouldn't even use a spoon. I'd like
Oh, no
place
milk.
myself. Huh?
No milk.
He's raw dog.
Straight powder.
कुत्ते जैसा. I used to park myself on my beanbag in front of the TV, not even use a spoon. Take the plate and go. I swear, I'm not making this up. It's fucking disgusting.
See,
That's why you need to be in a relationship.
You used to do this until now.
I'm saying these kind of habits can go undetected for a long time.
That's true. That's
Till you
She had
get
to
busted
bring it
by
to
your
your
partner.
notice.
I mean, there are lots of things that she brought to my notice where I was like, yeah, this is abnormal as fuck. I need to stop doing this shit.
One fine day, he just came and sat with a plate next to her.
She's like, what the
First date, I've taken her to Hakkasan and like, using fine dine fucking cutlery. Second date at home, taking Bonvita off the plate.
That's how it usually
Oh
goes.
man.
Do you want some more coffee, by the way?
I don't mind.
Prashant.
Get it. Uh,
What are you having? Was that
Coffee.
funky? Oh.
it's just the water.
The colour.
Ice
Just-
has melted.
Yeah, ice has melted.
Here, let me smell it.
Have a sip. I don't think you have anything cold, na, but
Do you want a drink?
No.
Pakka?
Yeah. Actually, cold coffee is nice. What he's having. Ice.
बहुत
black
ice
coffee.
डाल और वो
You don't drink much?
Nah, barely.
Like you're done with the drinking and partying.
I feel like, yeah, man. I feel like I just got into things too soon in my life.
Hmm.
Which also I feel I'm glad that I did because at the time that I had to become serious about my career, I got rid of the distractions.
Right.
You know?
How old were you when you started like
Acting?
partying and all?
Partying?
So you said like your distractions were.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Fuck,
It's a good time, a reasonable time to be distracted.
Same for you guys also, na?
17,
For me,
18.
mine was
You were
very
later.
late. Mine was much later.
Yeah. I feel like for us, we also started early.
Yeah.
Then we had a run where we had our shit together.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of like letting loose
Yeah.
a little bit again, but I'm getting worried now. Because the stuff he was saying, like going for treks, going out there, cycling, all
yeah.
this stuff, that's something I want to do, but you need people to do it with.
Yeah. You
मैं
need an
सोचता हूँ,
ecosystem
yeah.
around you. Yeah.
So,
Probably if you get a girlfriend, then I feel you'll start doing things like that.
yeah,
You get a girlfriend, though, things will.
really change. Huh?
But
Yeah.
now we can't just.
I can't, I'll stop eating Bonvita.
But that's just unrealistic.
What? Me getting a
Let's not talk about.
Yeah, right now it feels a little.
नहीं difficult तो है bro थोड़ा मुंबई में like.
Really? What's the
like
scene, man?
finding
What's
a-
the dating scene now?
Oh, you've been out of it.
I've
bro.
been
He's
so-
been out of it for like.
It's a good
Close
thing,
to a
man. You
decade.
won.
I've
You won the
literally
game.
sailed through my 20s without being in the dating game.
What? Oh,
I'm 31 now, so yeah. I have.
You don't feel like you missed out थोड़ा.
Fuck, I'm having
बोलेगा-
this conversation with
बोलेगा
my
you're not,
friends.
bro. Trust me. Or even if
Actually,
you
I'm.
feel like,
Yeah, I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. When I look at the shit that's happening around me, I don't.
I get it. No,
Yeah.
but some
It's
people
rough out
just-
there, dude.
It is, right?
It's ridiculous.
Some people just luck out, bro. Like they.
There's also
they-
like the expectations are wild
from which side?
from either side.
Okay.
Yeah. But like,
one thing that really like I don't know amuses me, but also like kind of like I'm just like this whole thing of like below under if you're under 6 feet swipe left or some shit.
That I feel is not that prevalent anymore.
It's not.
Hey, matlab, girls, there are girls who want, but that's a preference, bro. Like, what do you do about it? You also have preferences.
Yeah.
We are just not vocal about it. Because you can't. Like, as a guy, you can't say,
You have to be more politically correct. Then.
Yeah.
below
Don't
50
say that.
kilos.
Don't.
Like, can't.
I tried stopping.
He's like, don't say it. I mean, it's just like finishing
Yeah, I
the
think
sentence.
he thought I'm going to say something worse.
Yeah. No, he knew it.
yeah, you can't say that. But
I'm just trying to make sure you have a podcast for the next 5 years.
No, but there's nothing wrong with having a preference, is what I'm trying to say. Even if a girl likes 6 feet over, okay, that's what you want. You're obviously making the pool smaller for yourself by having that expectation, especially in a country where the average height is below that.
Yeah.
So
But it's not anymore, man.
Yeah, bro, these kids are too tall nowadays.
Everybody.
Pisses me off. Today I was at the airport, there was one kid, bro, at least must have been 10, he was my height.
Yeah.
10, 12-year-old.
bro, I'm
What do you
telling
think has changed?
I think their diet probably.
It has, right?
Yeah, they're not eating Born Vita.
Sugar. Yeah.
No, bro.
Because I was eating semia upma and upma for breakfast till I was like 16. It was just a carb overload.
Exactly.
No, parents
Dosa.
have started taking protein
nutrition
seriously.
has also evolved.
Big time, big time.
Bro,
But there's been a big change in nutrition has become better. But physical activity has also gone down. Na?
so they have, I don't know.
They just hit the gym, bro, these kids.
No,
Yeah,
bro, but
some
that's
of them.
late, na, thoda.
Dude,
No, but kids have been hitting the gym much earlier than we did, bro.
100%. 13, 14, they're in the gym.
Jacked.
bro, if I wasn't funny now, these kids would be like running circles around me. Last night we were out and like we were going to meet like these two girls, and by the time we got there were these like other
Surrounded.
by these other
It was like
dudes. And
jackals had surrounded the...
like 21-year-old dudes.
Yeah.
And fucking jacked.
Yeah.
Jacked, tall, like hair is on point, this and that.
And they're all good
Don
looking, bro, for
Draper
some
looking.
reason.
Yeah.
Fucking hair.
And I was like, what do you do? And he's like, I'm a pilot, actually. Then I was like, ठीक है.
Papa के पैसे उड़ाता है भाई.
No, both of them, there were two guys.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they're both
yeah.
pilots. And
They're
this and that.
studying to be pilots
So
or
then we had to think of angles, how to like can these guys.
Take him down.
Yeah. Because,
Why did you all want to can them?
Not me, I was
because
there, na.
they were random dudes. Like they were just,
Yeah.
Okay.
like, they were
They
ruining
were attacking their prey.
Oh,
Don't
so
say
you all were
that.
eliminating
What the
competition.
fuck is wrong with
how
you?
do I put it across better?
Just don't,
They're
just shut
eliminating
up. That's
competition.
You all were eliminating competition.
Yeah, they were eliminating
Those-
competition.
Those guys, I went to pee later, and then I was peeing और पीछे there was the same group, and वो लोग कुछ तो बात कर रहे थे, and I was like going थोड़ा, and the guy was saying, dude, I have an American dating coach, that one of those kids said to the other guy, and I'm still not getting laid, bro. What's wrong with me? Why they were going crazy with it?
American
What do you
dating coach.
What does
Yeah,
that
that-
even mean?
Like he had someone who was teaching him
He's
moves
paying
and like
money.
how to,
Wow.
how do I approach
Like he
girls
has
and
a
all that
Will
shit.
Smith in his life who's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
teaching
yeah.
him how
Yes, something like that. What is happening, dude? Like these kids are they just have too much money to throw around, by honestly. You have an American dating coach.
How do you explain that expenditure to your parents?
You don't.
He's a pilot, bro. I'm sure. He's like,
But imagine that, bro. Imagine.
What did you all do to get rid of them, though?
I have just did my thing.
I came back and they were gone. So I was like, oh,
Thoda
great.
ragging kiya, honestly. And they were only like. Then
They
we were
backed
like,
off.
yeah, backed off, as in we were like, okay, we're leaving now, guys. Lovely meeting you.
Yeah, but it's something I don't
Did
want
the
to.
girls still
get
stay or
involved
what? Did they also?
No, but the girls weren't gonna go for these 20-year-old boys, like, but they were just there. That was the thing.
in.
That way, age plays a role. Like if you're 25, 26, like you get some level of preference in the game. Because girls like mature guys, and guys get mature only after like 26.
Maturity दिख रही है.
No, you're right though. You are. Yeah.
You though wouldn't know. You've been away from.
You skipped this whole thing, man.
Yeah.
This and I remember right before I got into a relationship was when Tinder had come in, like maybe a year old in India at that time. And I tried being on it for 6 months. I got catfished. It was a very bad experience. and then luckily, I found my partner. So yeah, just
Where did you meet her?
I met her through a common friend. Yeah,
That's always the play, bro. You need a common friend to introduce you to.
yeah, 100. Like how else?
Now it's
The party.
Instagram.
Go and
Instagram पे होता है. You find someone, you follow them, they follow you back. You wait till they post a story. You reply
Then
to a
react to
story.
that.
No, react though they can't say much. They can just like double
If you
tap.
just like it, it's just a notification.
Yeah.
So you say
Yeah.
something.
Then
about
you'll
it.
just be a fucking simp. You gotta substantiate that like.
Like you have to act like if they're eating somewhere. Oh, where is this? This looks so good.
He's spelling out all his tricks on this
ये तो सब
podcast.
basic चीज़ है ना. This is like the way. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's and this is so normal now. Like everyone is playing like this game, knowing that okay,
It's
if
a
he's
game,
replied
yeah.
to my story, this is what it means. Like everyone knows what it means. If you've liked someone's story,
Yeah.
like which is so weird. Like without much communication, you can communicate so much.
it's sort of animal wala bhi, this whole thing. Like it's signaling.
Animal the movie.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm like animals in general. How
Like
they would
primal,
signal.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very primal. It's like you just like it and you stand and see.
But I like stories just for the fun of it. I
So
don't
you-
like.
I know you're fun.
What kind of stories?
If there's a dog in it, I like the story. It's like my appreciation towards the dog.
This guy's
Just
the
the
real
dog.
dog.
Just the dog.
Just the dog, nothing else in the story.
Are you trying to like imply something else?
No, see, it's like a genuine thing that I just like stories.
ठीक है, you're then just giving out the wrong idea.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's not. It's that's why we've been discussing like the thing you said, joining a hobby,
Yeah.
like some club or even like acting workshops. Like it's
You
like
guys interested in acting?
Yeah.
been thinking about at least taking a workshop to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Can you suggest some good ones? Because I went to Warsaw and checked out a couple of them, but I don't
can
know.
seem very confusing and intimidating.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have a sense of direction.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a really good workshop that I did in Kerala called Navrasa Sadhana that I recommend to everybody. There's Adi Shakti that happens in Oroville that everybody knows about. I think these two workshops, so you must.
Okay.
In Bombay, there's a bunch of really good guys. Yeah, there's Saurabh Sachdeva who does really good workshops. There's Rachit Singh who does really good workshops. Neeraj Kabi sir used to do workshops back in the day. I don't know if he's still doing it, but I did one of my first workshops with Neeraj Kabi. Yeah,
What do they teach you in these workshops?
depends. Everybody has a different
Approach.
approach and. I also went to drama school, so I did like a bunch of workshops, and then I was like, I guess the kind of people who I was surrounded by that time in Aram Nagar especially were, everybody wanted to be movie stars and I didn't connect with that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to act. And I wanted to go to NSD. So I remember doing a film called Rukh with Manoj Bajpayee. And I told Manoj sir that, sir, I want to train myself. He said, हाँ NSD जा. I said, but NSD में तो वो plays करने पड़ते हैं ना 6 साल. He said, हाँ वो कर ले तू उसके पहले. But it just the whole process of getting into NSD and spending 3 years over there and all, I was just like, no, I've got to find a better alternative. And then I found out about Drama School Mumbai. So I went to DSM. But yeah, I guess every workshop is different, man. Depends, you know. Some workshops focus on, if they're teaching, if it's a Meisner workshop, they'll do Meisner, which is a popular technique. If it's, you know, Stanislavski, it depends. Yeah.
What's the how do you get in, like tomorrow I want to become an actor. What do I do? What's the first thing you do? Like where do you start? Is there a set path or
No.
is it just like you figure it out?
You figure it out by yourself. I don't think there's a set path for anything.
How would you do it if you were to do it over? Like if you were to do it today all over again, where would you start?
The first thing I would do is go train myself. Because that would give me confidence in my skill.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is something people don't think about, that to become an actor, like maybe learn how to
It's an
act.
acquired skill, man. It's like anything else. You can have some qualities that you need to be a good actor that you genetically imbibe from your parents, right? For example, confidence. Or if your mom's outgoing, maybe you're somebody who's outgoing and who has a certain element of shamelessness where you're not like afraid to put yourself out there in front of other people. These are traits that you form through conditioning at a very young age with the environment that you're presented with or you genetically imbibe.
Yeah.
But the techniques that you need as an actor, especially if you're somebody who's not planning to, and you can't do that anymore. You can't just create like this brand that you have and then keep playing the same thing anymore because people are not interested in that. People are interested in seeing different versions of you, right?
I mean, now that is the case. There was
of course, we had like all our mega stars who
Icons are all...
and that's all over the world, not just India. Like Chuck Norris did the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people loved him for that.
Yeah.
Now it's changed a bit.
I feel like you can still do that, but you gotta be so fucking amazing as a guy.
Yeah.
Like say for example, Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill's Jonah Hill in everything he does. But you gotta be so amazing that people are just like, I just want to see this guy in every film.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So I feel like especially because if you're interested in playing different characters in every film, I feel like that is where training and technique comes into play.
And you put in a lot of effort, bro. I've seen one interview or this conversation on YouTube where you're talking about how you were learning accents and like taking like accent classes
on YouTube.
Is that where you're learning it?
Yeah, I don't have money.
So that's like, and you're doing it just in case. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई specific role के लिए कर. You just wanted to have it in your pocket.
Yes and no. After I was wrapping up White Tiger and Ramin Behrani, who directed White Tiger, he said, "Do you want to work internationally?" I said, "Of course."
Right.
And he said, the first thing that you should do is learn the American accent. Because tomorrow when White Tiger releases, and if it does well, there will be people who will approach you and they will ask you to audition for things internationally.
Right.
Be ready for that day. I took his advice. I usually take good advice very seriously. So I just said that let's figure how to do this, and then the lockdown started and I had no had no money, no savings. So I just went on YouTube and whatever free tutorials of American accent and British accent were there, I just started like 3 hours a day, 2 hours a day. I would just do that, plug into my earphones, keep listening to the accent, keep watching shows, but not watch shows for their content, just watch how they're pronouncing words and how, how the subtext then also affects sometimes the pronunciation. And yeah, I'm also obsessive as a person, I feel.
Right.
So that helps me. I did that for a couple of years.
What's a tricky dialect to crack? Like, ऐसा कोई है क्या?
I know only the standard American and standard British.
Okay.
But I feel like the American is harder than the British. Because the first step to do is the rounding of the R's. But also there's a lot more to it. Na?
Yeah.
That feels like, हाँ, अगर मैंने R's round कर दिए तो मैं American sound कर रहा हूँ. But it's not.
And the British, they all say, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that also, it depends on whether you're speaking like the Queen's accent, which is like, or if you're speaking like a more street version of it.
What was the dialect in White Tiger that, like, what was the accent in that? Because
My accent?
हाँ, उसमें.
The Hindi?
Yeah. No, it was in English, right? The movie.
तूने English में देखा होगा.
नहीं मतलब originally English में बनी थी, but that was just somebody. So Balram Halwai was the character, somebody who always wanted to study and go to school, and he was the only literate person almost like in his entire family, also village, and so he was always educating himself. So I remember an interesting conversation with the director where at the beginning of the film I was like, I think Balram should have like a perpetual stammer when he's talking in English, because even though he knows how to read and write, he's not in the habit of speaking.
Correct.
It's like you take French in school and then you go to Paris and then you can't understand a fucking sentence.
Yeah.
So I was like, Balram ka wahi hoga na? Agar if the person he's working for and his wife are speaking to him in English, he's not used to replying in English. So there will be a lot of like thinking and stammering and all that. He said, यार देख, या तो तू ये जो बोल रहा है ना, ये हम ऐसे एक इंडी फिल्म बना लेते हैं, या तो हम नेटफ्लिक्स की फिल्म बनाते हैं जहाँ पे तू बात कर रहा है.
Hmm.
So sometimes you also have to find a middle ground, and then in finding that middle ground, you still got to able to justify
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I can't be speaking in English in a way where people are like, "What the hell? This guy's a driver. How is he speaking like this suddenly?"
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the direction.
Mm.
How different is it working internationally versus working in India? Like, is there a difference in, just what are the differences?
I think I'm very new on the international scene right now. 2-3 चीज़ें की है मैंने internationally. तो मेरे को अभी तक उतना कुछ stark बड़ा difference नहीं दिखा है. Maybe in the future. Definitely the tech that they're using is more superior.
Okay.
What else? I've been asked this question a lot of times and I always think about what the difference is, but honestly, like, I guess it's more organized also in some way. Yeah. But
then
I feel like they're bigger risk takers than us, for sure.
okay.
The risk taking appetite is more.
Okay. So, in terms of like, you could be shooting a scene and then you come up with ideas and they're just like, okay, let's try this instead of maybe here they'll be like, nahi, jo karna hai, wohi karna hai. Like,
No, that can happen anywhere.
okay.
I've worked with directors here who are very open to me improvising.
Yeah.
Worked with some directors who are like, no script. Same over there also. I just did a show called Alien that's going to come out in August. So for that, like, we had 3 different directors, you know. Couple of them were people who were very particular about me sticking to the lines in a script. One of them was like, yeah, you can improvise, make it your own. That's a very subjective thing. That depends on the director. Yeah.
I'm assuming he means like storylines and experimenting with scripts.
हाँ,
But
just
here
like,
it's just more similar.
नहीं अभी तो like there's a lot of different things coming out. Like experimentation wise, like in India we're seeing so many new things now, which we wouldn't see like a few years ago. तो वो तो हो रहा है, OTT के बाद ही हुआ है ना ये सब. Where there's different scripts and like the kind of work you've also done has been just so diverse.
Yeah, the range
I
is.
think I owe my career to the OTT platform. अगर नहीं होता तो पता नहीं, मुश्किल होता.
हाँ.
At least the way OTT platform started.
हाँ, but वो लोग भी they're just catering to people's habits. I feel like ever since we've had just smartphones in our hands the whole time, and your TVs are smart TVs, your laptop, you can just have access. Because what was happening before this, there was piracy.
Yeah.
Before OTT. When we were growing up, you still wanted to watch things at home only.
Yeah.
So you'd either wait for the DVD or get a pirated or like download it from somewhere and watch it. Now they were like, okay, the habits, like we're catering to the habits by like putting out all these movies for them to watch whenever. So that is why I don't think like the OTT is coming. You're saying you owe your career to it, but it's just like, if it wasn't this, it would have been something else which would still cater to people's demands.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in terms of newer actors and technicians and all kinds of voices being discovered, it was because OTT platforms, their risk appetite was a lot when they started. That risk appetite was not present in studios and, you know, simply because of economics of releasing a film in a theater. It just comes down to commerce, honestly. Yeah.
But that's the cool part about all of this is like when someone makes a good film or like a good show, people watch.
Yeah.
Like if it's on OTT and
You guys
it's
watch
good,
Sinners?
yeah.
Sick, right?
Yes.
I haven't
Insane movie.
It was
What a complete masala entertaining film, dude.
too good, bro.
Yeah.
Like we went in with no I hadn't even seen the trailer.
Same, yeah.
So I don't want to say much.
Yeah.
But अभी हो गया ना time थोड़ा तो.
हाँ,
चलेगा
मत
भी.
बोल यार.
नहीं, but like if you go into it without seeing anything about it, you're just like surprised.
You're
You're
blown
like,
away, dude, by that. Anyway,
I was genuinely so entertained.
Yeah.
There was no like,
हाँ.
there's no boring patch. Of,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
what's happening.
टिकट बुक करने के टाइम पे मैंने देखा था हॉरर
That's why first I said no. I said if it's a horror, I don't want to watch.
Seriously? Oh. If it's a horror, I want to watch.
Yeah, you're a horror
Big
guy.
horror fan, yeah.
I don't. It's not my thing. So I was like, nahi, horror hai to nahi. Then it's like it's not horror.
No, but we went into it. I was like, horror kab aayega? Matlab,
हाँ,
where
like-
is the
It's not
horror?
horror.
No, the horror. You can see why it's called
Okay.
horror film.
Yeah.
And then in that moment, I was like, fuck, this vampires I wasn't expecting. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I was like, okay, this, and it's so hard to make a good vampire film. Like it's been done. Like बहुत लोगों ने किया, and to still like do it nicely, it was just like, okay, cool. Like मजा आया देख के.
Yeah.
Also, it had like everything, right? It had like romance and drama and
Philosophy.
thrill and philosophy
Yeah.
and social messaging
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
music. It's like a horror musical.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
This is when we came out of the movie, Prashant is like, ये black लोगों का कांतारा था. I was like, yeah, bro, that's like a nice.
Good parallel.
Yeah.
No, but bro, so giving social messaging in a film can be damn cringe if it's not done well.
It is, man.
Because it'll just look like very woke.
100%.
But if it's done nice, you're just like, okay. Even Barbie, bro, like we really liked Barbie. Even though it was super woke and ye wo, but
I didn't see Barbie.
You liked it?
yeah, it was
Yeah,
funny.
it was really funny.
It was like, ठीक है. If you're laughing at like funny, what's anti-woke? Like what's the opposite of woke? Woke comedy also can be funny if done
Yeah.
well. So you can't just
Was
like
Barbie that? Was it
yeah.
anti-woke?
No, it was
No, it's super woke.
like super feminist.
Yeah.
But they did it well. Like it was funny.
Yeah, because the plot is it's Barbie's world, and Ken discovers there's a real world out there where it's not all feministic.
Got it.
And it's like the real
Yeah.
world.
was the
They
real
step
world,
into the real world
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, it's a patriarchy. And Ken is like, dude, this shit is sick. And Barbie's
made it
like,
really funny.
funny tha, like I didn't think they would take it that direction,
Yeah.
but it was cool. So comedy films are thoda rare now, like good comedy films.
Man, I really miss good comedy. Yeah.
What are your like top comedy films that you would like go to?
Super bad.
Super bad.
I actually enjoy a lot of like Adam Sandler films as well. Like
He's the
sometimes I
good.
just wanna
Yeah.
But also early Priyadarshan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hera Fairy, Malamal Weekly,
They're
Hangama.
all too good.
Yeah.
I think सबसे ज़्यादा बार मैंने रिपीट पे प्रियदर्शन की फिल्म ही देखी.
Is Dedanathan also? Maybe. But Dedanathan, देखिए.
Dedanathan is that flooding
Yeah.
movie. हाँ.
What a fucking movie that is.
Those films have a lot of rewatch value.
Yeah.
For a guy who's Malayali who doesn't speak Hindi, whose Hindi is not his primary language, you know, Priyadarshan, he's a Malayali dude. He's made the most iconic Hindi comedy films.
Yeah.
He looks like Adit's dad, bro. One of my friend's dad looks exactly like him. So a friend sent a photo saying, bro, तेरा बाप क्या movies बनाता है क्या? Then we like, yeah, that's mad.
But come to ho gaya, like good comedy films. Sometimes like something will come out. I don't remember the last time I watched.
A good comedy film.
Yeah.
Delhi Belly for me was the last good comedy film.
That's a while ago.
That was also like fucking
Delhi Belly was
12
when
years
we
ago.
were in school, bro.
Yeah.
We were.
12-13 साल हो गए उसको भी.
I went to the theater and the guy was like, my parents and I went. They're like, ये बच्चे के लिए movie नहीं है. Then my parents are like, no, he's old. He's like 13. He's like, sir, मत लेके जाओ please. Then they told me, okay, we'll drop you home. And they went and saw the movie. And they didn't like
You
it.
didn't watch it in the theater.
I was too young, not that time.
And your parents didn't like it.
They didn't like it. I think that wasn't their humor. But when I watched it, it was
Yeah, मतलब उस-
banging, bro. It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
I think also the tolerance level and just like appetite for comedy is also gone down.
Yeah, with that film though, they just went for it. They were like, you know what, like let's just go for it, and they did it, and it worked. Like people liked it. I think we watched it recently, only like a few months ago. It's sometimes that's what it takes for someone to just say like just go for it. That's what Samay also did with his show. He was just like, humor nahi hai to like let's do this and see what happens.
You were on Latent, no?
Yeah.
One episode. I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
It's not a
You remember it?
Yeah.
it's a forgettable episode. On
Who was the other guest on?
Arpit
Bappa.
Bala was there. Yeah.
Samay is Bab, bro.
He's
Yeah.
Funny.
we're waiting for the comeback now to see what
It's going to
happens.
be a big one. You just know it.
Yeah, because he's great at what he does.
Yeah.
He's a good comedian.
He's insane, dude. His reaction time is
He's
I
one of
can't.
the smartest people.
He's
I've
so
met, bro.
quick, man.
He's very quick.
He's so quick.
Yeah.
It's like his brain processes things at like 5x the speed that our brains process. It's insane.
His brain is wired in a way where I think a lot of it is just talent, but a lot of it is also muscle memory for him.
Yeah.
Because if your first instinct is to look for the next joke,
Sorry.
So,
and you do it over and over again, then obviously that time, because that's honestly mostly what he cares about is,
making someone laugh.
yeah.
And he didn't grow up as a funny guy, right? Because I've heard him speaking about his childhood. He got bullied around in school and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why he became funny,
Yeah.
to get along with
get
people.
accepted.
Yeah.
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 He would like memorize jokes from joke books and go tell his
The
friends.
crazy part is he still remembers all that.
The crazy part is that he got bullied for being fair
Yeah.
in our country.
Reverse
And I was like,
racism.
अलग ही problems है भाई के.
But he really like cares about a good joke. Like sometimes he'll
Yeah.
call me and he'll be like, "Bhai, joke सुनेगा क्या?"
Yeah.
Like, हाँ बता. Then he'll tell me, he's like, "चल भाई." Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, are his parents funny?
I haven't met them, so I don't know.
Sometimes I wonder how much of this also does it have anything to do with
It's genetic.
Yeah, I feel like humor especially does.
If you've grown up around your family who are always making jokes and
Jokes.
stuff, so I feel
Yeah.
like that might do something.
Like, there's two kinds of reactions to adversity, right? One is that you half it by cracking a joke on it, and one is you double it when you're expressing anger. I feel like if you grow up in an environment where your parent halves it by cracking a joke on it, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just teaches you how to just deal with life in a better way than losing your shit and then dying of a heart attack at like 40.
Yeah. It's a better way of going about life for sure.
Yeah.
Just not taking things seriously.
And I think Samay had that. I feel like, I don't know, I've never spoken to the guy. I think I met him once at some party very briefly, but yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe he had that.
His live show also, if you see, is just a lot of like you think
One
I'm
of the
I'm
best,
going
bro.
there, but
That's
let me
something
go
you need
somewhere
to do
else.
at least once, bro. Like watch
His
one
live
of his
show?
live
Yeah.
shows.
because that's just pure jokes.
Yeah.
Like there's no like thoda improv is also there, but mostly just jokes that he's worked on, and he comes and he does the hour.
Yeah.
And they're jokes that he's worked on for a while, so they're like really.
It's a tight set.
I've seen it like 4-5 times. Like it's
Still
And it
funny.
doesn't get old. Like even if you know what joke is coming, the way he'll deliver it will be so different the next time.
Yeah.
It just gets you every time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Somebody said this to me. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say
How
it.
you say it.
It's
Do you watch a lot of comedy? Stand up?
not a lot. No, not a lot of stand up.
Do you have any?
I've been
favorites?
meaning to check out Andrew Schulz because everybody's been talking about this guy. My brother especially has been talking about him for the last 3 years now.
Yeah.
I want to check him out.
Yeah, he's good.
Do you guys have any recommendations that I can check out?
Yeah.
Andrew, the recent thing he put out was nice.
The special life.
The one about him and his wife trying to have a kid.
That's life.
That's a special award.
Yeah. But other than that,
Any like new age comedians, stand up comedians that I can watch?
let me think.
What's that guy's name? Matt?
Mad Rife.
Yeah, Matt, right?
Matt Rife is there.
You can check him
Because
out.
I still go back to like Louis C.K. or Ricky Gervais,
Yeah.
like the old ones only when.
But
I
they're
have to.
too good.
There, yeah.
Shane Gillis is damn good.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah, Shane Gillis is very
Australian
funny.
hai kya?
Nahin, just
American hai?
American dude. He's like
Mark
chubby.
Normand, if you.
Mark Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just
I
jokes,
think
like
so.
one liner.
Mark.
Mark Normand
He's
is.
the one who wore
really
the
funny.
glasses on the girl.
Theo
Yeah.
Vaughn,
Yeah.
if you've not.
Theo one I've heard about.
You should check out Theo Vaughn.
But Theo Vaughn is funnier
Theo Vaughn
in
is- yeah.
podcasts. than-
No, but his comedy is also really good if you
Yeah.
watch his.
He's funny in a podcast
shows.
setup. He'll say something very stupid and it just fits over there.
Yeah. And he talks to everyone. Like he just had Mark
Yeah, he had
Zuckerberg
Zuckerberg on.
and it's like the kind of questions he asks is like he had Donald Trump on his podcast, and Theo Vaughn's thing is he was a coke addict at some point, so he has a lot of coke stories. And then he got Donald Trump on before the election, and he was like, as a personal, like I've had experiences, and what do you think about drug abuse, and have you ever tried it? And he was like, no, I've never done it. And
Or Trump saying that.
yeah, Trump is like, I've never done
He
it.
can't
And-
like say, na, ki, yeah.
And then he's like, Trump is like, how does it make you feel? and then
You have to hear the answer.
and Theo has like this Tennessee accent, and he's like, bro, it's just like makes you feel like an owl. You want to stand on your front porch. He's talking to the fucking president, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of even in
Most
India. There's a
American
lot of
things.
people, bro. Like in India, Samay is there.
Yeah.
You know, I went for the, sorry to cut you out, but like it reminded me of something. I was in Melbourne last year, the Melbourne Film Festival, and a lot of like these politicians and dignitaries who had come, you know, for the event. There's Indian Melbourne Film Festival only, so all these Indian actors and directors. Kartik Aaryan was there, Kabir Khan, A.R. Rahman, Karan Johar. I took Radhika also because I got like a free hotel stay, free, you know, flight
Nice.
tickets. I was
Yeah,
like,
let's go.
that's it, let's go. So I go there, and bro, it was so amazing to see all these Australian politicians not take themselves seriously at all. Like they were just willing to take jokes on themselves. They were dancing on stage to Bollywood songs, and they were just like literally making a fool of themselves. But it was so amazing to see it.
Yeah.
Cause I'm just like, wow, man. And you know, everybody's like in their late 30s, early 40s. Like there's a governor who's like in his late 30s, and you know, you can tell that he's probably partied all night and he's coming showed up at this thing.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
We can dream
Someday.
someday.
No, but that's the thing that makes you so much more likable also. If like people see you as just a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like if there is someone in a position of power and you see them just doing very normal things, you will feel so much more.
It disarms you, completely.
Yeah, you feel like connected to them because they're also normal people, bro. Like sometimes I think we forget.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, he's just a dude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're all just dudes, man. Yeah.
yeah, dudes on a spinning rock.
Yeah.
Do you ever get existential like this?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And
I feel like I get existential at times of when I've faced loss in life. That is when I get existential. Then I start questioning everything. And I feel like what sometimes helps me is just to remind myself of how insignificant everything is. You remember Hot in Here's a Who? Have
What?
you ever seen that film? It's a film called Hot in Here's a Who.
okay.
So I think that there's an elephant that discovers that there is an entire universe that lives inside a flower. And he goes inside that flower and starts interacting with the universe, right? I feel like sometimes when when there's like some kind of adversity or anything that I can't process, what helps me is to just take a step away from it and be like, hey man, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
100 years later, nobody's going to remember. None of this actually matters. But it's ironical because in the same morning, I'll be like, everything matters. Every second matters. Right? You're like, every second, I need to make everything count.
Yeah.
And then shit hits the ceiling and then you're like, nothing matters.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, those are the moments I feel like I get existential. I indulge in some kind of philosophy
Yeah, I think
helps to get by.
as a person, like your sense of purpose hangs on this delicate, like nothing matters at the same time everything matters. So how do you balance? Like you have to figure out how to balance that, how to care enough but not care too much.
Oh, yeah, I know how to do it. There's a word for it. It's called optimistic nihilism.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just made it up. But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I've thought about it.
Yeah.
If you are an optimistic nihilist, you can balance shit out. It's chaotic out there, but you still got to be a little optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps to get through.
And just caring about the right things. If you're going to care a lot about something, it has to be something that is worthwhile.
Hmm.
Like if you're working on making your family happy,
Yeah.
your family is also just like 3-4 people in the universe. They're not that significant, but they mean so much to you. And if you're thinking about making things good for them, then that's a good enough purpose.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even though it might be insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but it's just like,
And purpose only has meaning when it's personal.
right,
Yeah.
right. On that note, I feel like, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, man.
Are there any projects coming up that you wanna?
Let's do the plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plugs.
We saw your trailer.
Oh yeah, that
I
was
saw
a sick
it
trailer.
looked cool.
Ah.
The
The one with the
Shania and-
yeah,
Yeah.
The crocodile or whatever that thing was.
it is a crocodile.
That shit
Come
was
on, man.
hard,
The CG
bro.
wasn't that bad. That thing was.
No, I thought it's gonna go somewhere else.
No, yeah, like when that trailer starts, you don't think it's gonna go
Oh,
there,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
goes
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I think that is also why people like that.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, cool.
What genre is that going to be? Can you tell us that?
It's called a creature feature.
Creature feature.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it'll have the backdrop of like a romantic film, but then there's this entry of the creature, and then what happens? Kind of like that.
Was it fun
But-
to shoot?
Dude, we just shot the announcement video. That wasn't even the teaser of the film. We haven't shot the film.
What?
We're gonna shoot this film in June. Next month. We'll start shooting in June.
Okay.
So you know how sometimes like films shoot announcement videos just to create a buzz.
Yeah.
Oh, is it to like see if करना है
Yeah,
कि
to
नहीं
test the
वैसा?
waters. नहीं करना है कि नहीं वो
करना
I
तो
don't think
पड़ेगा ना, bro.
doubt नहीं है उनके दिमाग में.
Okay, okay.
I hope not.
नहीं, like
Now he's getting existential.
Yeah, I'm like, man.
it's fine.
He's like,
I
what
should
is that?
actually ask. Tension क्या था आपको?
नहीं, do movies get shelved after, like, let's say you
An
put
announcement
something
video
out.
gone bad?
Because I've seen movies get
I'm
announced
sure
and
they have, man. Yeah, I'm
they
sure
get
that's
shelved.
happened. Yeah.
Stuff.
But this looked cool for sure.
Yeah,
like,
like-
people,
this
I
was
think
damn
people
cool.
got
Hey,
excited.
it's not getting shelved.
No, this is not getting shelved. They're definitely not. And also, I feel like when we shot it, right? There's like you have a very preliminary understanding of the character. Because literally you have like the sides that are given to you. And you know, I obviously have read the script, but the script is again changing a lot from what it was 6 months ago. So you're also like projecting your idea of what this character can be because you've not really researched on it, right? This is where good direction and good editing comes and saves your ass. Because all the wrong choices that I made as an actor during that day have all been edited out. And what you eventually see is this thing that you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this looks amazing.
Yeah.
But I know all the fuck ups that I did that day, right? And you're just like, thank fucking God
What
for
all
good
did you do?
editors. And, you know, like, when you make certain choices as an actor, not like something that, you know, but just like stuff that you do and then you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that, man. That didn't feel right. That didn't feel honest. You know? Also, because like acting a lot of times is like being in a cave and searching for the walls. It's in a dark cave. Because at least initially for the first couple of weeks.
Okay.
Because you can't really be sure of what you're doing. Right? I mean, sure, there's a director who can guide you, who can tell you. But it's always like kind of like figuring it out. And I remember on the day, there were a couple of things that I did where there's in one shot in which I started doing push-ups in mid-shot. And I felt like it was a great choice to make. I was like, wow, I surprised myself. But then while going back home, I was like, fuck, man, should get chutiya lag raha hoga main aise shot ke beech mein. And I hope he edits it. Sorry, I hope he edits it out. And he did. Because he realized it wasn't working. So, yeah, I feel like that is the difference. You can be a good actor and work with a director who can make you look like shit. You know, and you can be an average actor and work with a great director and he can make you look great. And I think Bejoy and Anand sir, who's the producer, I think they do that with actors. They just make them look better than they are.
Yeah. With whatever limited experience I have in acting for like brand films and stuff, like there have been different directors and you can tell like how much a director can do, especially for someone who's not an actor. So if I'm obviously lost while I'm there, and if I'm doing something, you have to tell me, am I doing this right? Because how the fuck am I supposed to know?
Yeah.
Like, how do you go about this? Like, you're doing something which you think is the best attempt, but if it's not good enough, like, you need to be told. Or if you have to do something differently, you need to be told. For you, I'm assuming it'll be different because you're expected to kind of do it yourself. But for someone who's not an actor, then the director is only doing everything.
I feel like the best kind of directors are the people who just like just show, kind of like just guide you in the right direction, and then just let you completely like unravel and like discover yourself, and also ask you the right questions.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very important. To challenge your thinking and to ask you the right questions as an actor, because that is when you start thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's been your favorite director to work with?
Ramin Bairani, the guy who made White Tiger.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there?
He was telling what all projects are coming up.
Oh yeah. So there is Tu Ya Main that we'll start shooting in June, and then there is Alien, which is a show that I did with FX. That's gonna come out in August. That I'm super hyped about.
Nice.
We finished that last year. Shot for 6 months in Thailand.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, and very exciting crew and cast too. Yeah.
Can you reveal anything or no? Or is it?
Well, it's the same IP as Alien, Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've taken that and kind of given it their spin. I don't know what else I can reveal without getting screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, don't do
But
that then. Yeah.
sci-fi, psychological horror thriller, all the good shit.
You enjoy Thailand?
Enjoyed Thailand, dude. Enjoyed
How
it.
much?
Dude, a lot. Like, especially Krabi.
Hmm.
You guys have been to Krabi?
No. We've
We
not been
haven't
to Thailand.
No.
What?
No, man.
We're planning now.
I'm planning a trip this
But अभी तो season नहीं है.
Don't go to Phuket.
Yeah.
No, not happening.
You'll bump into your neighbor there. Arey uncle.
Maybe some दूर का uncle.
But yeah, I'll send you a list of places that you can go check out. Thailand to you must, bro.
Yeah.
Very good place. Also, like it'll make you think about whether you want to shift to Goa or somewhere in Thailand.
Everyone who's gone there like
Says that.
says that. Now each time I go to Goa, people be like, bro, तू गोवा में क्या कर रहा है, bro? Thailand जाना. But
It's
then,
cheaper also.
हाँ.
My first 1 month in Thailand, I was convinced I was going to move there.
Mm.
Yeah, 6 months later, I had some difference in opinions.
Did something cause that change in?
Not particularly. I just realized it's more. There's a certain level of comfort that you have when you live in the country that you're
Yeah, of
born.
course. Yeah.
You're not born here.
Yeah, but that's why I know, no? That's why I know where that comes from. Just being able to walk into a store and speak in Hindi, for example,
Yeah.
your mother tongue. Like, once you don't have that, you miss it.
Yeah. You can have everything else around you to pad it,
Yeah.
but I don't know, it kind of sucks that you kind of like rely on that factor. I don't know if it sucks or not actually, but yeah, you're so dependent on that.
Yeah.
On feeling accepted and feeling like, you know, like
A
you're-
part of the community.
and when you live in another country, you don't feel like that all the time.
Yeah, and so for me, I've been living here for as long as I can remember, but
Yeah.
still, like, I can feel like, if I go back home and...
You're Iranian.
Yeah. So if I go back home, instantly I can tell the difference.
Where in Iran is your home?
Ahvaz in
Ahvaz.
south of Iran.
Ramin Bairani is Iranian, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of good Iranian filmmakers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's true for sure, bro. Like, when they say there's no place like home, it means something.
Yeah.
But I'm happy here. I'm just saying. More than happy.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy.
Okay, chalo, bro. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the
It's great.
conversation.
Yeah, it's great.
And come back anytime.
Sure.
We'd love to do this again.
Yeah.
Let's go.